Sarah, Abraham, Lot, Terah.
They go to,
Haran,
and who dies?
Terah.
Terah. And then they go to Caring, and who splits?
Lot.
Lot splits. And you're left with Sarah and Abraham, who have 2 children. What are they?
Isaac and Ishmael.
Just remember your eyes. They both start with eyes. Then you got Jew, but you drop the W off, and you got
Jacob and Esau.
Jacob has the tribes of Israel. The promise that the promised Messiah is coming through is
Judah.
the one whose favored one is,
Joseph.
and he gets taken into slavery down to Egypt. Okay, when he goes down to Egypt, he goes to Potiphar's house. A pot with big fur coming out of it, right? Then he goes to jail. And then he becomes a oh man. Boy, I should have never done that. I knew that was pride when I did my Columbia. Anyhow, okay, then after that, meanwhile, back in Canaan, Jacob is facing a famine. So he's got to take his family down to Egypt, and they all become slaves. Then God's got to raise up a deliverer, and his name is Moses. And he don't take them over, he don't take them under, but he takes them through Red Sea. And they come to Mount Sinai. I'm learning, man. I ain't going. I'm supposed to be way up here. Okay, Mount Sinai, right where they get the law and the tabernacle, okay? Well, once they get the law and tabernacle, then God wants them to go in the land. So they go to 12 spies go in. 10 say
Yes. No.
2 say yes. And because they disobey God, they
Wandered for 40 years.
for 40 years. But then God raises another deliverer, Joshua. And he doesn't go over, he doesn't go under, he goes through what? Jordan River. And then they face their first battle at
Jericho.
unbelievable strong town. But then they go to this old wimpy town called
Ai.
But because of Achan's sin, my Achan back, his sin affects the entire nation and they lose the battle. So they've got to go back and they got to pray. I know Wayne's going to be having a sermon on that because it's unbelievable. It's coming up. Then after that, Joshua's got to make a wedge. And he goes into the land and he has what? He has a northern campaign and a southern campaign, right? And that makes the era of the judges. Deborah, Gideon, Samson. The most effective judge that I want you to remember is Samuel, because that leads into 1st and 2nd Samuel. Which then, because Samuel anointed the king. And the first king is Saul. Second one,
David.
Third one,
Solomon.
But Solomon led them into idolatry. And because of that, the nation split, right? And he split 10 tribes to the north, 2 tribes to the south. They didn't follow God. 722, Assyria comes and does what? Takes the northern tribes away. Then in 586, Babylon comes in. That's where you get Daniel, Ezekiel, and a lot of other books right in there. Some other books in there. And then while they're in slavery, God's got to bring them back to the land. But they have to have the temple because that's where God dwells with them at. Now, God's everywhere, but he dwells with them there. And there's a lot in that. I just want you to know the tabernacle's got a lot into it. We're not even covering. Okay, they got to build a tabernacle. So the first one, I want you to remember an old butt. Haggai, right? But then there's a guy with unbelievable prophecy. Zechariah. Then there's the cry of Ezra, and the temple is built. Okay? But there's no wall around the temple. And who builds the wall? Nehemiah builds the wall. And then you have 400 silent years. You got it? You got it.
Nathan's got it.
Hey,
I got it.